This is Jackie, and I'm here with your all-access interview with Survival Guide. We're here at South by Southwest. You are dressed for the weather. I'm very jealous. It's a nice day out. So many bands here at South by. Describe your sound, your unique sound for all those listeners out there.
Well, I am a solo act. I sing and I play keyboards, really synthy sound with a backing drum track and backing guitars. So it's kind of like it's like electronic indie rock is kind of the most generic, easy way to describe it.
I like that. Now, a lot of bands, for about maybe 2-3 years or so, are really utilizing synthesizers again. How do you make sure that it's more modern for 2015?
Well...
Or do you just not and say, go with it, I like how it sounds?
Yeah, I mean, the way I do it is I have my set keyboards and I just go through them and figure out what sounds I like and what works with my voice and what I want to do. So I just kind of go for it. I'm not trying to do anything from any certain era because, you know, there definitely is an 80s sound to it or a 90s sound if you want. But I just kind of go with what seems right to me. So.
And it's a good way to utilize technology with having the guitars and the drum tracks as well. So you've had lots of previous touring experience. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yes, I've been in a couple of national and international touring bands already. I was in the punk band Tsunami Bomb. We toured all over the U.S., Canada, Europe, and Japan. And then I was in the action design after that, and we just did the U.S. and Canada. So I'm no stranger to Austin, although this is my first time here as Survival Guide.
So how do you take your previous experiences and use it, make it your own, literally your own, as a solo act?
You mean musically? Doing those other projects, kind of, I mean, everything leads to where you are now. So that kind of music, doing those kinds of music, kind of showed me what I wasn't doing that I wanted to do, which is whatever I feel like doing. So in other bands, that's the beauty of being a solo act, too, is that I get to do literally whatever I want. If I want to have, you know, record a doorbell ringing and put that into one of my songs, I can, and nobody's going to say, that's stupid.
Because you're in charge. Yes. That's great. And you mentioned this is your first time here at South by. What do you feel South by does to help artists and help educate artists?
Well, I mean, it seems to be just a giant networking event, first and foremost. I think it helps artists. It kind of reminds me of, in Tsunami Bomb, we played Warped Tour a lot. And it reminds me of, it's almost like a Warped Tour condensed all into one day, where you're just really hustling. Like if you're playing a show, you're really hustling to get there, get parking, get all your equipment inside somehow, and play, you know, keep the show going on time so that you get an entire 20 minutes to play, and then make sure everything's loaded out. So it's almost like a one-day boot camp for every show that you play here, I feel like.
Warped Tour that takes over sort of the entire city, too,
yeah,
so that's got to be slightly overwhelming. Social media is something, whether we love it or hate it, is very useful in the music industry. How do you reach out to fans through social media?
My personal preference is Instagram. I like it for my own usage, and I think it's fun. So I like that one. I don't have the most followers on that. I have the most followers on Facebook. So I tend to just try and, for Instagram, you know, capture what I'm doing throughout the day, whereas on Facebook I will treat it more like a website. Even though I have a website too, I'll just kind of, you know, put out big announcements like tour announcements or shows or releases. And then Twitter kind of falls somewhere in between.
You just hope they sort of post to each other. They just need to make one thing that posts to everything and then make things easier for one person.
Yes, that would be great.
Someone will create it out there someday, and then they'll create a whole other system and we're screwed. So when can fans expect the new album?
The new album's coming out in May.
What's the title?
Way to Go.
Nice. All right. So what's up next for you after South by?
I'm playing a couple more shows around Texas, and then I'm going to go back home and work on just promoting the record and playing a release show. And I'm really excited about it because it's my first full length as Survival Guide, and it's going to be on vinyl. So it's like a really big deal to me, especially being solo.
Very nice. Well, stay tuned for much more from Survival Guide. This is Jackie. Thanks to All Access and In the Key of Change.